Hey everybody, come on in. Sorry to keep you waiting. We're gonna get started on Food Talk TV. I was just waiting on one more ingredient. Let me turn the music off. All right. I thought I turned the music off. Come on in, everybody. Let me find this recipe that we're gonna be making. Hello and welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh gosh, where is it? Oreo balls. Ah. Come on in, everybody. I'm so sorry. I just need this recipe, then we're going to get started. I posted it and then I can't find it. Okay. Baking a moment. Okay, Oreo balls. Okay, I think I found it. All right, everybody. Sorry about that. I had to get the video. Let's go ahead and get started on TikTok. Hello, everybody. Let me go ahead and get started over here. All right, everybody, come on in. Sorry to keep you all waiting. I was waiting on an ingredient for the recipe. Hopefully it will arrive very shortly, but come on in and tap that screen if you are Team Sweet. Today is your day. Welcome, everybody. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I am Maggie, the substitute teacher. And if you were with us last week, you saw that I got a delivery from the drone, and we are going to be doing, wrong way. We're going to be doing the Oreo balls. So I have some Oreos that have been sitting here on the counter, and we're gonna make some truffles with these. I have a 3-ingredient recipe for you all. I'm gonna show you all the video, and then we're gonna make this together. I have 2 of the 3 ingredients, so hopefully any moment now, the last ingredient will come in. Make sure you're subscribed to Food Talk TV, the home of TikTok's longest live cooking show. I am Maggie, the substitute teacher, and usually I cook with sugar substitutes, dairy substitutes, and gluten substitutes. So today we're using full flavor, real sugar, real dairy, and probably real gluten. I am going to be giving these away, but we can talk through some substitutes if you all like. If you all like to make swaps like I usually do. So I'm going to clean off the counter and wash my hands, and then I'm going to show you all this video. Hello, everybody on here. Bria. Yes, we're going to use the drone delivery. If you all were with me last week, these Oreo thins came in, and I have had them for a week on my counter, and I said, that is it. We're going to have to go ahead and use them up. So we have 9 likes on TikTok. Hello, Mark. Let's see if we can get to double digits. You all can tap the screen. So let me show you all the video that we're going to make. So this one is inspired by bakingamoment.com. Now, have I ever made these before? No. Has that ever stopped us? No. We're going to watch the video, and then we're going to make them together. So let me turn up the volume, and let's see what you all think about these. Oh, there's no sound? Okay, let me just turn the music down. All right, so that is the goal. We're going to make these Oreo truffles, all right? So this is the goal. So we're going to take our Oreos and we're going to crush them in the food processor. So we're going to make them into like crumbs. You could do this with any cookie, but we're going to do Oreo. Then we're going to put them in the mixing bowl, and we need a stick of cream cheese that's been softened to room temperature. So I did buy real cream cheese for this. Then we're going to scoop those into little balls on a baking sheet and rub them into our hands and kind of make them nice and smooth, and then we'll put them on the baking sheet. Then I'm going to pop these in the freezer while we are melting our chocolate. All right. So this is what I have on order. It hasn't arrived yet. So sorry to keep y'all waiting, but hopefully we'll get some white chocolate arrive any moment now. And then we're going to take those Oreo balls and we're going to dunk them into the chocolate and then put them back on the baking sheet. Now you can decorate them with whatever you like. This would be great for the holidays. You could do sprinkles. Someone suggested Oreo balls last week and I had to look it up. You could serve them just like this, but I'm going to reserve some of that crumbled Oreo and we're going to just top them with what's inside. That's a great little hack. As a garnish, save what's inside your recipe. So this is the goal. And then since they're cold, they should solidify pretty quickly. So what do you all think about that? So that is the plan for today. So again, it's 3 ingredients. You need a package of Oreos. You need a block of cream cheese and you need melted chocolate. Now I have regular chocolate, but I don't think I want to do chocolate on chocolate. That's why I wanted to do white chocolate or something a little festive. Sweet Pea says it looks delicious. Thank you all. We're almost at 300 likes. Ah, yes, you're going to make these for the drill sergeants? Yeah, absolutely. You can make these as teacher gifts. This would be a great cooking recipe for the kiddos. You all know I love getting the family in the kitchen. This would be great for busy little hands. So I'm glad you all are loving this one. So we're gonna make it. And once we get to the point where it's time to melt the chocolate, it says our delivery was 5 stops away. All right. Yes, double dipped Oreo truffle. So yeah, make it look fancy. We know it's not. We know it's simple. So let's clean this off and let's wash our hands. This would be a great one for little hands to help. All right. So if you are team sweet, today is your day. I don't even know if we can really call this cooking, but it looks fancy. This would make great teacher gifts. This would make great like holiday gifts, or if you had new neighbors. Does anybody do that anymore? I still take gifts to welcome neighbors, but also the drill sergeants, you know, we got military in the family. And then like your service people, like hair, nail, your delivery, your FedEx, any of those people, they love snacks. Who doesn't love a good snack? All right. So we will keep that going. Let me wash my hands. And for this recipe, you will need a food processor. I guess you could use a blender, and you will need a mixer, or really you could do it by hand, but we're going to try and be festive and fancy. Yes, 3 ingredient recipe. And this recipe, like all of my recipes, is at foodtalktv.com. You can also ask your favorite Amazon device to open Food Talk TV, and this recipe will be there. And we'll talk about substitutes along the way. All right, 600 likes. Thank you so much, everybody. Come on in. Happy Friday. Food Talk TV has live cooking content every day of the week, multiple times a day. All right. I'm with you all Fridays at 4 Central, which is 5 Eastern. I'm in Atlanta. And there's cooking content from people who really know what they're doing. Y'all know we wing it over here. That's why I call it a struggle cooking class. Okay, so let's get a couple baking sheets and let's go ahead and prep them down with parchment paper. And then we're gonna crush up our Oreos. Okay, so I've got a couple over here. So any baking sheet, and these are gonna go in the freezer just to kind of solidify. And the reason we use parchment paper has been treated with silicone, and that helps it not stick. It's great for like frying or anything like that. All right, so let's get some parchment paper. Come on in. You can tap and share, or as they say, like and subscribe, or you can just watch from the clouds. Honestly, it is fine by me. I'm just happy y'all are here. All right, so we have parchment paper. Parchment paper is different from wax paper. Wax paper will smoke if you put it in the oven. Hello, Jacob says, I am Trini's friend. Hello, Jacob, and welcome. Thank you, Harry, for the badges. Parchment paper is the one that you can use in high temperatures, but this is just gonna go in the freezer. But you can see even the little picture there, it's got some like little Hershey Kiss treats. All right, so let's get, and I'm going to put it, I always struggle on the, what is this thing? The baking sheet. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little water underneath it. Hopefully it'll kind of stick like a glue, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. So it doesn't ball up on us. Okay, so I'm just gonna move this behind me. Step one is complete, so you're doing great if you're cooking along. Thank you all so much for being here. Yes, this looks like a dorm-friendly recipe. I agree. As long as you have a blender, or you know what, y'all, even if you don't have a blender or a food processor, y'all know I love it. I'm not gonna say where this came from, but y'all know I love the little devices that you can crush it up. Or let's tell the truth, y'all, who knows what else you could use this for? Let me show you. You could get, if you don't have a food processor, a Ziploc bag and a rolling pin. All right. So sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I always think not everybody has access to a full kitchen. We've got travel nurses and truckers and students and everybody. All right. So great ideas. I love that. I love that. Oh, thank you all so much for being here. Okay. So let's go ahead and crush up our Oreos. I will taste one for research purposes because these were the free ones from the Walmart drone delivery. If you don't know what I'm talking about, find last week's show. And these are the Oreo thins. Now the recipe calls for regular Oreos. And I just wonder if the cookie to cream ratio may change the flavor. So we have to taste one, okay? You never know. Exactly, rolling pin and smash them up. So if this could be a great like scout recipe, or even if you're like out camping, how would you melt the chocolate? I guess you could over a fire, or liquid chocolate. I don't know. But lots of different ideas. Okay, let's focus. So let's open up our Oreos since we're going to give these away. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for behaving, Rick, the retired chef. We're at 1,300 likes. Let's see if we can get to 1,500. So come on in, everybody. We are making Oreo balls or Oreo truffles, double dipped chocolate truffles. You can make it as fancy or as simple as you like. 3 ingredients. So this is really easy. You need a package of Oreos, or you could do like the no name brand or the dollar store brand, or you could probably really substitute any cookie that you have, chocolate chip cookies, any store-bought cookies. If you have them hanging around and you want to jazz it up and take it to a gathering like you made something, this is for you. We got the AI summary. Yes, we're making 3 ingredient Oreo truffles. All right, it says comment your favorite topping. So yeah, you all can let us know what you would top them with. All right, so these are the Oreos in the package, and you can see these are the Oreo thins. And I was also thinking this might be good with like the minty Oreos, like around the holidays. That might be nice. Now, there's not a lot of cookie cream in here, but let's taste it. So bad. Okay, focus, Maggie. I'm going to put this in a little Ziploc bag and save this to smash for the topping. I'm going to use the Oreo ingredient as the topping, okay? So let me get a little Ziploc bag. And you can save a little bit. We'll probably have some in the food processor. Hello, Sandra is new. Hello, my dear. Welcome. Come on in, everybody. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie, and I am Maggie, the substitute teacher. So far, all we've done is open up a package of Oreos. So let me get my food processor or blender or whatever you have. Y'all know I have a little struggle ninja here. Oh my gosh, y'all, it's falling apart. I know your appliances are all in great shape. My little washer came out. So hold up, hold the phone. Y'all know we always figure it out over here. All right, that should be good enough. So let's put the whole package in here. Should I save some? Something says save some for research purposes. I don't know. So let's move this behind us. I'll just leave this here so y'all can see. Okay, so nothing else in the blender, just the cookies, all right? Just the cookies. Isn't that a song? You may think I'm, but when the cookies are you not. Y'all know what I'm singing. Is it goodies or cookies? Sorry. Anyway, focus, Maggie. We're going to turn this on and we are going to pulse and blend them until we get cookie crumbles. Y'all are laughing. Come on in. Thank you all so much for being here. Welcome. Oh, it's goodies? I thought it was cookies. Isn't there cookies in that song? Y'all, I'm old and I don't know. I don't know what they say. I just, it gets in my head. Okay, anyway, you didn't ask for all that, but you got it anyway. So now let's blend these and we are going to see if we can get them into crumbles. Y'all are laughing at me. It's goodies. Okay, see? I don't have to know because you all know. And that's all that matters. As long as you know, I don't need to know. But see, that's how we do here. We cook together. Okay, so let's plug this up. I wish this one would loop, but it won't. Okay, so 1 package of Oreos. We're doing regular Oreos. You could do the lemon Oreos. You could do the mint Oreos. You could do the... Okay, why don't you all put in the chat maybe your favorite Oreo or all the different flavors. Don't they have double stuff? They got all kind of stuff going on. Okay, focus. Okay, I'm excited already. I don't know why. If you're just coming in, we need to make these little Oreo balls. Okay, so ingredient number 1 is the Oreo. Woo! Look at that, y'all. It looks like coffee grinds, doesn't it? Doesn't smell like coffee. It smells like chocolate. My only concern is, since these are the Oreo thins, are they going to be as creamy as opposed to the regular Oreos? But this is what I got. They were free, so we're using them, okay? Y'all say I'm right and wrong. It don't matter. We'll be all right. Okay, focus. So we have these, and I think they're good. I just like pulse them for like 30 seconds. Y'all, it might be time to get a new blender because, okay. You know those cooking shows where everything just happens and it's set out beautifully and there are no issues? This is not that. Y'all keep coming back. I done told you we go together now. This is a struggle cooking class. All right, so this was a sample. I'm gonna put that back over there. So we're done with the blender. Now we're gonna bring out the mixer. So if you've got appliances that you don't use, now's the time to get them out and make it look like you know what you're doing. Y'all are laughing at me. Yes, the lemon. Wouldn't the lemon truffles be good? So if we did the lemon Oreos and we blended them up, what would we top them with? I guess we could do like white chocolate still and make like a creamy lemon. Oh, see, that's the problem. That's why we think of one thing, then we think of all the different ways to make it extra. Y'all know me. Why be regular when you can be extra? Okay, focus, Maggie. So next, we're gonna put these in a mixer. So I've got the KitchenAid. I got the Kitschy over here. One of our day 1 subscribers gifted us an actual KitchenAid. So I'm gonna bring that over. The floor is heavy. I'm more of a cooker than a baker, but every once in a while I like to, pretend I know what I'm doing. So we're gonna give this a nice little wipe. Just make sure that it's squeaky clean. Okay. The second ingredient, because this is a 3-ingredient recipe. Recipe number 1 is a package of Oreos. And we have that here. We put them in the food processor. And then we're going to just pour them directly into the mixing bowl. Y'all are liking it so far? Okay, perfect. Ooh, look what didn't come out. And I'm not gonna get a scoop. I'm not gonna get a spoon and scrape them out. I'm gonna keep that for the garnish, all right? So we're gonna sprinkle them on. All right, so next we need to add 1 stick of cream cheese so that we can make it like a paste. All right, I'm vamping for time. Y'all, I ordered white chocolate. It's not here yet. Please arrive, please arrive. Okay, so I placed an order. This is real Philadelphia cream cheese. I'm not supposed to have dairy, but I'm taking one for the team for y'all. Okay, for research purposes. You could probably use a dairy-free cream cheese. Y'all know I do goat's cheese, but let's face it. You don't want anything funky when you're making a dessert like this. When I'm cooking for others, I give you all the full flavor. Ooh, you would do lemon Oreo and a strawberry. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. Everybody's doing well? Okay, so you only need 1 brick or bar, whatever these are, of the cream cheese. I ordered the 2-pack because I needed to get to the minimum delivery amount. So just ignore that. And they need to be room temperature. So I ordered these earlier and I just left them out. The reason you want it, we'll use this one. The reason you want it room temperature is so that it's going to mix, okay? So you only need 1 of these. So that's ingredient number 2. Oh, and let's take this off. We don't need this. We need the, I don't know what it's called. I'm gonna show y'all. Somebody knows what this is called. This is a whisk. This, we'll just call it the magic spinner. Somebody knows there's a name for it. Hello, Adelinda. Thank you all so much for being here. All right, just give everything a little wipe. And we're gonna put this on. All right, it's called a paddle. Exactly, I knew that. I was just testing you all. So we're gonna get our paddle. Does anybody remember when they actually used to paddle us in school? I know young people, you're jumping out the window right now. I'm 50. There was a time when they would call you to the principal's office. Stop me when I'm lying. Act up if you want to. They would call you to the principal's office. You would have to hold on to the table. And they had a paddle, a wooden paddle. Am I going to get canceled? I'm telling the truth. Y'all, we have all been traumatized. Y'all remember, what were we talking about last time when we made the big cookie and we had the, I still can't get rid of it. Y'all remember the Nestle Toll House cookie tin or cookie bin? And I said I couldn't get rid of it because that could be leftover containers. Anyway, you will hold on to the table, act up if you want to, and they will pop you right there in the principal's office and send you back to class so you could get it together. They weren't calling anybody. We weren't talking. There was no safe space, okay? I don't know, y'all. You didn't ask me for that. But this is how my mind goes. I have memories, lots of memories. Okay, focus, Maggie. So we have our Oreos here. Y'all remember? We're up to 2,700 likes. Somebody remembers the paddle. I don't think that ever happened to me. I might have gotten 1 or 2 spankings my entire life because, look, we make mistakes. I try not to repeat them. Anyway, let's focus. Y'all remember? It was going away. Our millennials remember. Okay. So we have our cream cheese here. So this is real Philadelphia cream cheese. So we're going to open this, and I guess we could cut it into cubes to make it a little bit easier. Let me do this. All right, let me just move this slightly. I'm going to open this on the counter, and then I'm just going to get a knife and kind of cut it into blocks. All right, so come on in, everybody. Welcome. We're up to 3,000 likes. I know, right? This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie, the substitute teacher, and we are making Oreo truffles today. Why? I don't know. I had some Oreos that were sent to me free by Walmart for trying out their drone delivery. And I knew, does anybody else have this struggle? If I opened that package and ate one, it was going to be all over. So I have sat here for a week looking at this package of Oreos, and it's been looking back at me. And I said, no more. So we're going to cook with it. And then I'm going to go visit mom and dad, and I'm going to take the Oreos. That's a hack. If you need to bake something, if you got a sweet tooth, bake it when you know you're going somewhere so you can give it away. Because y'all know a ruler in the palm of your hand. Ask how I know. Okay. Last little traumatic story. We had a teacher that had a metal yardstick. Fall asleep in class. Y'all know those who fall asleep in class, your head is on the desk. He would come up to you while he's doing his lecture. He had it like a little baseball bat. He would be doing his lecture, talking, blah, blah, blah. If your head was on the desk, crack right next to your ear. I have seen some things. How did we get here? I don't know. Let's focus. All right, let's get a knife. We're going to cut this cream cheese. All right, happy times, good memories. So you all can see this is a block of Philadelphia cream cheese, and we just set it out room temperature a couple hours. I guess you could microwave it or whatever too, but just leave it out if you know you're going to be making these. So I'm just going to cut it into like little butter sticks, and then I'm just going to like quarter the sticks, and then we're gonna put the whole thing into the mixer. All right. So 1 whole bar of Philly, 1 whole bag of Oreos. Y'all are laughing? Y'all like the story time? Look, that's what comes with my cooking class. All right. That's how we struggle here. Keeps you humble. Okay, let's put that in. And then we got some extras left over here. We got to taste it for research purposes, just to make sure that Philadelphia cream cheese didn't change their recipe on us. You never know, okay? Times have changed. People start doing stuff with the formula. So I'm here to taste it so you don't have to, all right? So let me get a little tasting spoon. Take one for the team. We're gonna go in here. Well, let me scrape it first, because Lord knows I don't need anything extra lying around. So good. In my mind, I'm imagining a toasted bagel, smoky, flaky, smoked salmon, salty, capers, red onion. I'm having a whole moment by myself. Aaron Laura's liking the ingredients so far. I know. One of my day ones in the chat. All right. So Aaron Laura, make sure your settings are correct, that you can post links. We are making these Oreo truffles. This is the goal. Okay. So now we're going to mix. We're going to mix, mix, mix. All right, so let me lower our paddle. That's how we got off task. Let's make sure this is solid as a rock. Doom, 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 doom. Y'all, I have a problem. Okay, another story time. I never talk about work, but I just started a new job, and you'll know I have these like songs in my head, and I'm old. So I work with this man, his name is Gus. And y'all know I have like this thing where if I hear a word, it triggers a song lyric. And so I started singing in the meeting. Who does that? Get on the bus, Gus. Make a new plan, Stan. No need to be coy, Roy. Just listen to me. Does anybody know that song? Somebody in the chat knows that song. All right, I'm gonna wait, let y'all put it in the chat if you know that song. Let me turn this off so I don't hurt myself. Somebody knows that song. Sure do. Sunshine knows that song. Okay, you get a bonus point if you can tell me who wrote that song. All right. Oh, all right. So the story continues. Does anybody know Paul Simon? You got it, Mark. So there was this song. All right, man, I'm gonna be that old lady that just, man, my stories are gonna be like forever. So there's this songwriter called Paul Simon. Those of us who are old, we know him. Classic songwriter, if you like folk music. And the name of the song is 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. Why we're having another tangent, I'm really just trying to see how long it's gonna take for this chocolate to arrive. But anyway, so he's like, you know, all these easy ways to get out of a relationship. Get on the bus, Gus, make a new plan, Stan, no need to be coy, Roy, step out the back, Jack, all of that. So I had this whole moment in the meeting, and you know, I work in tech, so I work with a lot of young people. And the man whose name was Gus, he's like 20 something. And he's looking at me and I said, oh, do you know who Paul Simon is? And he's like, no, I don't. I know, y'all. It's too much. Focus. Okay, we're going to turn this on. How did we get here? So, I'm excited. We're mixing. This is 1 package of Oreos and 1 brick of cream cheese. So we need them to be, wow, there's a lot going on here. Scoopable balls. I guess it's good. It smells really good, y'all. All right, I'm gonna turn this off. And y'all know we need to taste it again. Oh, okay, Aaron Laura, we gotta fix it. I don't know what's going on. Okay, thank you for letting me know. All right, so gosh, y'all, this smells so good. Simon and Garfunkel, I know. Okay, so let's, did y'all hear the doorbell? It's news. I am so excited. It's the little things, y'all. It's the little things. It's here. Y'all heard the doorbell. So yeah, I just ordered. Who does this? So we have vanilla flavored baking chips. It's white chocolate, whatever white chocolate is. It's really chocolate without cocoa, but you didn't ask me that. All right. Now we're cooking with gas. Can we be neighbors? Won't you be my neighbor? Yes, come on over. I know. I'm so excited. Okay, focus. Let's taste our dough or whatever this is. Ooh, oh, I like it. All right, so I'm going to scrape it off of the paddle. We already had a traumatic story time about those of y'all that used to get popped in school. Okay, so I got a little bit on here. I'm going to taste it. Oh my God, it's so good. Y'all, you know when you don't eat like real bakery sweets or real anything, it's just like, oh, it's so good. Okay, I am so excited. So now, I know somebody wants this. There's a kid out there that will take this and run for the hills, but I'm gonna put it on a paper towel. I should rinse it, but I won't. Okay, focus. So now we are done with our mixing portion. So we have our Oreo and our cream cheese. So now we're gonna scoop these into balls. If you're just coming in, we put our Oreos into the food processor. We're making Oreo truffles. And you just put the bag of cookies into the food processor, and then you add the cream cheese. And we just did this part, we mixed it. Now we're gonna scoop them up and we're gonna put them on the baking sheet. We're gonna make them into little balls. And then I'm gonna pop these in the freezer while we melt our chocolate. And we're just gonna put them in the freezer so that, I don't know why. I think the recipe said to do that, okay? So this is what we need to do next. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Okay, focus, Maggie. So we're done with this. Let me move that. Okay, so now let's get our baking tray out. And we put some struggle parchment paper on this. Okay, and then I did have this little melon scooper, and this one is smaller than a regular scooper, just so you all can see the difference. This one is like an ice cream scooper, mashed potatoes. This one is like a little melon or cookie scooper. Do you need these gadgets? You do not. I'm gonna give this a little wipe. You don't need these gadgets. You can absolutely just spoon them out and roll them in your hands, which I will do. But if you want them to be, you know, what's the word? Not homogeneous, the same shape, all right? So we're just gonna go in here and get a little scoop, scrape on the side, and then I'm gonna just wash my hands again. I was thinking, have I washed my hands since I got the package from outside? Because I know how y'all are. Y'all talk about me. And that's fine. You could use gloves too. Some of y'all like gloves, some of you don't like gloves, but we just want to make sure we have clean hands. And this is where the kids could help. Uniform, that's the word. See, y'all, that's what I'm saying. I don't have to know because you all know. That's all that matters. Okay, so I'm just gonna scoop this into my hand. It doesn't look good at all like this. Thank you. You like the kitchen? I love it. This is my happy place. So we're just going to roll them into uniform balls like a proper cooking class. Don't they look like little charred meatballs? And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do all of them. So now we can relax and do a story time. I was doing all that foolishness. We're at 4,800 likes. Thank you all so much for being here. Welcome. I am Maggie, the substitute teacher. I didn't blend it well. Some of them have extra cream cheese. You'll be all right. I am Maggie, the substitute teacher, and we are making Oreo truffles today. 3-ingredient Oreo truffles. So to tell you all the steps, in case you're just joining, we have 1 whole bag of Oreos. We put them in the food processor, dry, and blended them for like 30 minutes to make into crumbs. And then we had a block of cream cheese. We're using real cream cheese today. I know, uniform. Thank you all so much. So a block of cream cheese, we just cut that into cubes for easy mixing, and we put it into the mixer, and we blended it so we have this like paste. I don't know what you would call it. And then I just have this scooper so that our little truffles are uniform. And I'm just kind of rolling them into my hands. You could get the little ones in the kitchen to help you. They would love doing this. You know, like especially teachers' gifts, or, you know, if you have more money than time, you can buy gifts. But if you have more time than money, or you just really want to make something, you know, people really like homemade stuff. Look, I know not everybody trusts everybody's food. I get it. If you got cats on the counter, we are not talking to you, okay? We love you and your cats, but, you know, sometimes a little homemade treat just really, you know, makes people feel happy. Everybody loves a homemade meal. Almond bark and cream cheese. Yeah, absolutely. So did y'all tell me what other Oreo flavors? I know they have the lemon Oreos. They have the double stuffed Oreos. These were Oreo thins. So there's more cookie than cream on these. Sometimes they get a little funky with the Oreo flavors. Have y'all seen, like, sometimes they have like red velvet, and to me, when they get a little extra, it starts tasting a little bit more artificial. Yeah. Aaron Laura says, put a stick in these and people pay $5 a pop for these at Starbucks. Y'all, who needs Starbucks when we got Maggie bucks? That is such a great idea. Those little, y'all know what I'm talking about. You have seen those. I went to a wedding once where instead of a big cake, they had cake pops. Not to be confused with K-pop for those of y'all who like pop music, but that's a great idea. And here's another thing in all seriousness. So we're going to mix these and we're going to dunk as many as we can to make a bowl, but you could make this part and like freeze them ahead of time. Thank you for the badges, Michael. You could freeze them ahead of time. If you wanted them fresh, you could just take out a few of these frozen balls and dunk them in chocolate. Or you all know I love a what's it called, like an assembly meal, especially if you have picky eaters or kids that I don't want that flavor, I want something else. Then give everybody like 3 or 5 and they could make whatever they wanted. You can have one, you can share one, you can give one away. That would be nice. But yeah, y'all, you could sell these. Does anybody do bake sales anymore at the church? Hello, Christine, at the church or the Girl Scouts or anything like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, let's go ahead and scrape the sides and get the last one. How many do we have? 3, 5, we have 15. So just making about 16 of these. So since we have one, we have one extra. This one will have to be for research purposes. So I'm just scraping all the sides. Somebody wants a spatula. Who wants the bowl? All right, so I'm just gonna set that behind, and then we'll do the last one. Got some extra on the outside. I'll put it on a napkin, and we're just gonna roll that into a nice little ball. Yes, Leah's coming in late. Come on in, everybody. Welcome. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie, the substitute teacher. We are making Oreo truffles. So far, we had a bag of Oreos. Put these in the food processor, blend it dry, about 30 seconds. And then a box of Philadelphia cream cheese, full flavor. Let me just put that right here. Full flavor, softened, and then put it in the mixer, and that's our 2 ingredients. All right, so I'm gonna wash my hands, and then these are gonna go in the freezer while we melt our chocolate. I am so excited. If you live in a cold climate or if it's winter time, you could probably leave them out like this, but honestly, since we're gonna handle them and put them into chocolate, let me show y'all. Those of y'all who just came in. All right, so if you live in a cold climate, you could probably leave these out, but this is the finished product, that's the goal. But so that they're not so soft when we go to put them in the warm chocolate, I'm gonna stick them in the freezer for a few minutes while we're prepping everything else so that they're a little bit, I was gonna say harder to hold. Hey, little thing, let me light your candle, cause the mama, it's hard to handle, right? Y'all know that song. All right. So this is what we just did. And we just rolled them into little balls. And so these are going to go in the freezer. All right. So this is what we have. Whoa. And let me see. Let me make space in the freezer. Hold up, y'all. All right. Let me see if I have a flat space just to be safe. Get some Oreo Pops at Maggie Bucks. Exactly. But in all seriousness, if y'all have been buying these $5 cake pops at Starbucks, just make a batch of them. And then if you pack your lunch, you have your own little dessert in your lunch. Save some money. All right, let me put these in. See if I can close it. Okay. So we're going to wipe off the counter. We're going to get our stove top. We're going to get our stove top and we're going to melt some chocolate and then we dunk them. And then that's pretty much it. I'm so excited, y'all. It's the little things. It really is the little things. So come on in, everybody. Welcome. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie, the substitute teacher. Hold up. I lost our video. Okay, there it is. All right. So you could do these in the microwave. How many ingredients? 1 bag of Oreos, 1 box of Philly cream cheese. Okay, really simple. And 1 bag of white chocolate chips. All right. I know you want it. I know you want it. Black crows, yeah, hard to handle. See? I don't need to know these things because you all know these things. All right, so we're just going to wipe off the counter. There may be some Oreo dust. So we're going to clean that off and then we're going to melt our chocolate. I'm so excited. It's the little things. It's the little things. You know, you can make little treats. And then in all seriousness, you know, when you make stuff at home, and I'm not a professional, y'all, I just play one on the internet. But when you make stuff at home, I mean, it is an Oreo, but it's less ingredients than the stuff that's shipped from across the country and then it sits in that case all day, right? At least it's fresher. You can portion control and all of that good stuff. If that matters to you, I am not the food police, right? Do what works for you. Okay, so you could melt this in the microwave, but I think we're gonna do the double boiler method for 2 reasons. 1, it looks kind of fancy. And then 2, when I microwave chocolate, especially when I put it on the granite countertop, it starts to cool down and then it gets hard. It gets hard to handle now. Yes, ma'am. All right. So let's get our stovetop in a little pot. And we're going to just melt these while they're in the freezer. All right. So come on in, everybody. Hello. Thank you all so much for being here. We're at 6,400 likes. Let's see if we can get to 6,500. Tap the screen. Today is for Team Sweet. If you like sweet recipes, today is your day. Where's the... All right, here we come. Oh. All right, I had to go to the belly of the beast. Hello, Angelica. Thank you so much for being here. Or is it Angelica? That sounds fancy. All right, so we're gonna get a little pot and a glass bowl, and we're gonna melt our chocolate and try to keep it like melted without scorching. So let's get a pot. Let me see, I might need to get the bigger one. Let's see what kind of glass bowl. Whoa, hold up. All right, I'm doing some mental math. I want to see how she, I want it to be deep enough so that I can like dunk the balls, and I guess you could just pour you could pour the chocolate over top. All right, let me get a bigger pot. We'll use this one. All right, come on in, everybody. Oh, we made it to 7,600 likes. Thank you so much. Yes, we don't want them too hot or too cold. We want it just right, Goldilocks. All right, so let me get a bigger pot And let's see if this will work. All right, so the goal is, let me stack this up first. Okay, so I'm gonna turn on the stovetop and I'm gonna fill, make sure y'all can see, I'll put it over here. I am gonna fill, oh, thank you so much for being here, Erin Moore, I appreciate it. You've been rocking with me for 44 months. Wow, y'all, time keeps flying. Okay, so in this pot, we're gonna fill it about halfway with water, just water, so it can boil. So we're gonna turn this on. Okay. And I'm gonna put it on high just so it'll start boiling fast. I'll put the lid on it, jam on it. And then this is gonna be the bowl that we're gonna put our chocolate in, all right? And you can do this with any chocolate, pumpkin flavor. We're doing white chocolate just for the contrast because you know the inside of the Oreos are dark in color. Now this is just Walmart brand. I just got something fast. It says vanilla flavored baking chips. All right. So I don't know if they're white or off-white. Ooh, they're white. Hey Bert, thank you so much for being here. All right, I appreciate you. Okay, so we have our white chocolate. Let me just give this a little wipe down. And so this is the bowl we're gonna melt our chocolate in. So we're literally just putting all that in here. Now you can put a little bit of coconut oil if you want to, or some people use vegetable oil to keep it like nice and silky and shiny. You can do that. I may thin it out later, but for right now, we're just gonna go with the chocolate by itself, okay? And now, as soon as our water starts boiling, we're gonna put the chocolate on top and we're gonna stir it until it melts. And then once it gets nice and ooey gooey, hey, good afternoon, Prosperous. Once it gets nice and ooey gooey, then we'll take our truffles out of the freezer. Okay, so if y'all are just coming in, this is the goal. You thought Mexican women were the only one that used the oven for storage? No, y'all, I'm African. I use the oven for storage, and my parents are really African. They use the oven and the dishwasher for storage because they're not washing dishes by a machine. Yes, we grew up with dishpan hands. Some of y'all know about that too. Some of us have parents that have a dishwasher and don't use it, an air conditioner and don't use it. Don't get me started. We've already had enough distractions. Anyway, we are waiting for our water to boil. It's already started. So thank you all so much for being here. So we made our Oreo balls. Those are in the freezer. So we have our white chocolate. She's using wafers. I'm using chips. And she probably melted hers in the microwave. But if you do the microwave, you're going to have to move kind of fast. So we're going to dunk them, and then she just uses a fork to kind of toss them around, shake off the excess, scrape the side, and then let me go ahead and get another baking sheet so we can be ready. Ooh, our water is percolating. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. Okay, hold up. Okay, sorry, I was confused. It's over here. So this will be the tray. We'll put the Oreo balls, the cake pops, the Maggie balls on. There, see, Trini puts her Tupperware. Her dishwasher is for storage too. I know I'm not the only one. Y'all come on here acting like all your produce looks fresh, all of your appliances work, and you don't. Whoa, hold up, sorry, y'all. You don't have any struggle kitchen secrets. I know better. All right. So we're gonna get another sheet of parchment paper. And we're going to put that on a second tray. Ooh, it's boiling. Okay. So we have this on the side. Let me see if I can move it over so y'all can see the workstation. All right. Woo. So as we get a facial, let me move the hot water. And this is just regular hot water. And now I'm going to put our white chocolate chips. We're going to sit it in here. And I'm going to turn the boil down because we don't want it to like pop and like splatter. And let me get a spatula. I think I have a spatula. Yes. All right. I'll give this a little wipe. And I'm just going to stir. You could also do this in like 30. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it's still boiling. Okay. So the residual heat from the boiling water will melt our chocolate. You can see it's already starting to melt. You could also do this, I guess, over a campfire. That might be tough to stir. I'm going to turn it down. If you do this in the microwave, do 30 seconds and then stir, and then 30 more seconds and then stir. Now, I have one bag of white chocolate. It might not coat all of the balls. We'll coat the ones that we can. Let me just let it, ooh, it's really popping on us. And then we'll stop. We just need a bowl full, all right? And then we're gonna top them with a few crushed chocolate. So I think it's coming together. A part of me wants to do, I think I am gonna put just a little bit of coconut oil in there because we want that nice little drizzle tail. Let me see how the water is doing. Okay. I'm gonna put a splash of coconut oil in there. This is optional. You won't taste it, or if you do, you'll be all right. Just so I can get a nice little glossy, dippable sheen. All right, so this isn't taking long at all. And the other reason why I'm doing it over the stove like this is so that it'll stay warm. All right, so we're just gonna move this. You wanna be careful with chocolate, especially some of the, I've shown you all like the 0 sugar chocolates. They're more expensive. This is just regular because I'm giving this away. Oh yeah, it's coming together nicely. It almost looks like marshmallow fluff. But you want to keep it melted but not scorched, because once you burn chocolate, it's over. So I want to keep an eye on this. And I have the stove. I'm actually going to put it on a 1 because it's still bubbling. Okay, y'all, we got it. So let me move this stuff out of the way. We're going to get our cake pops, our Oreo truffles from the freezer, and we're going to dunk enough. And they'll set pretty quickly as soon as, because remember, they're going to be cold from the freezer. We'll coat them with the chocolate. Oh yeah, this looks really good. Oh, hold up. Let's get our toppings. All right, I want to be ready. Y'all remembered when we blended the Oreos? This is just dry Oreo. I'm going to get a spoon and kind of flake this up because we need to garnish while our cake pops are still hot, or the chocolate hasn't set yet. All right. So this is just some of the residual from the blender. All right, wonderful. Looks like coffee grounds, but it's not. Okay, I think we're ready. Oh yeah, look at that, y'all. Can y'all see that? It looks nice and shiny. Oh, we got the nice little tail. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. So these have been in the freezer maybe like 10 minutes. They're not frozen, but just enough so that they hold their shape. And we had like 16 of these. So I have them on this side. Let me get a fork because she uses a fork. And she uses like a little, they're not cake pops, but they're skewers. You could do these, you could cut them in half, and so many ideas. The Boy Scout mom and me is just coming up with so many ideas for the kids. So let's do this. I'm gonna pierce one. All right, and I'm gonna go directly in there. And I'm just gonna use the spatula to kind of, yeah, you're gonna need something, because let me see if I try to get it out. I didn't scrape off the excess. Maybe I need to do that. And then while it's still, put a little chocolate topping. Can y'all see? All right, I need to shake off the excess. It's coming along. All right, let's just keep going. You could do a fork. I'm just using a little skewer. And then I'm gonna use a spatula, just kind of get it on over there. All right. So we are just making our cake balls. Or what are these called again? Oreo truffles. right, I'm just gonna dip a few and then we'll put the toppings on after. All right, I'm struggling a little bit, but I think it's gonna be okay. So I don't know how many were in there in the presentation. Look like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's see what we can get. Now they're not going to be as beautiful as hers, but y'all will eat them. Use a fork to get it off. All right, I'm going to try one with the fork so I don't have to pierce it. See how that works. Yeah, the fork seems to hold it better. So, and you could go faster with a fork. So we're just going to toss it around in this white chocolate. And then we will dust them with some Oreo crumble. Or you could do sprinkles. Or you could do, I don't know, all kind of stuff. I'm just going to keep going until we're out of white chocolate. All right. So come on in, everybody. Welcome. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I wouldn't call this cooking, but we are creating Oreo balls because we were sent some free Oreos and we had to use them up. If you wanted to get really fancy, you could do this first coating. Okay, TikTok, here I come. You could do this first coating with white chocolate, and then you could do like what's it called? Okay, I don't want to reach over this. You could do the second coating with like milk chocolate. I was struggling. All right, let me go ahead and top these while we're here, and then we're going to keep going. So we're just going to put, and these are the Oreo, crushed Oreos that were still in the blender. All right. And we'll keep going, and then I'll put these in the fridge and we'll get another tray. So hopefully we get some that we can handle if I melt all of them. Because yes, it's hard to handle. But we're using up this chocolate. And really like a light coating is fine. And if you don't want the toppings, you can leave it plain. You can absolutely leave it plain. I'll come to y'all in the comments in just a second. If you have extra chocolate left over, you could get some fruit. You could do some strawberries or whatever you like. Let me put these in the fridge just so they can kind of sit. So that's only about half. The recipe made like 16 of these balls. They look great. Aw, thank you. Taste the Vibes Foodie page is here. We're at 11,000 likes. Thank you all so much for being here. Welcome. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. We have a struggle cooking class every Friday. I am making Oreo balls or cake pops or double dipped Oreo truffles or chocolate dipped Oreo truffles. So if you're just coming in, we had one package of Oreos. Any flavor will work. I'm just going to put these on the same tray since we've got it down to about half. And that's parchment paper, so they should come off clean. We put them in the blender, just the regular Oreos in the blender, completely dry, and made that nice little crumble. And then we put it in the mixer. Whew, careful, the steam is hot. And then we added a softened bar of cream cheese. Regular old Philadelphia cream cheese. And then we mixed it until it was like a little paste. And we scooped them out with like a little melon scooper and then rolled them into balls in our hand. And then I put them in the freezer to kind of keep their shape while we melted this white chocolate. All right, I'm going to scrape down the sides because we're getting towards the end. Once the chocolate was melted, I took them out of the freezer and we're just rolling them around in this white chocolate. And then I'm going to put them on parchment paper. And then we have a few reserved Oreo crumbles. Y'all, I think this might do the whole thing. We have a few reserved Oreo crumbles. We even have some whole Oreos that we could crush in a bag. Always reserve some of your ingredients as a garnish. That's an easy garnish, and people like to know what's in their food. 3 more, and then we're done. And you could do these with arts and crafts for the kids. Birthday party. Well, I guess the way y'all are doing birthday parties now, y'all probably laugh at me. But, you know, little activities, sleepovers. I'm old, okay? Bible study, all that little stuff where you had, you know, busy little bodies. And then let them decorate however they want to. Oof. All right, careful. When you get down to the bowl, some of the Oreo is starting to melt. And my white chocolate is looking more like a gray chocolate, just because our little truffle balls are starting to melt. And I'm going to turn that off. And let's do the last one. Let's do the last one. And then we're going to cover them with the last of the, what is it? The Oreo crumbles. And then I'll put these in the fridge. This one looks really chunky. It looks kind of suspect, but something tells me y'all would still eat it. All right, so you could put a little skewer or popsicle in here, and you have your own little homemade cake pops. All right. Oh, I needed that spoon. Let me get another one. Hold up. Let's do our topping. All right, so we're gonna get the last little spoonful of crushed Oreo. So this is the second batch. Not as pretty. You can see the chocolate was less glossy and less silky, but y'all would still eat that. Something tells me y'all would still eat that. All right. Let's just give it an extra little layer. Oh, thank you so much, Baz. Yeah, I turned 50 last year. So a lot of my story time will take y'all back to your traumatic past. We were just raised different. Team Gen X, but we have fun. And y'all are still greedy because you keep tuning in to see me. All right, let's do just the last little batch. These will be extra crunchy. Who ordered their cake pops extra crunchy? You would eat it? I know. Let's taste the chocolate. I'm going to put these, God, please don't be too hot. Ooh! A little goes a long way. Wowzers. Let me put these in the fridge and we'll clean up and get ready to present. All right. Now, if you're hosting, you could make those in advance and you could, you know, just take them out of the fridge. I'm sure they'll be fine served cold or room temperature. All right. I'm just going to move this behind me. Our double boiler situation out of the way. Let's move the cooktop, and we are going to just show you all what we made, and then we're going to get the first batch. So if you're just coming in, we are done, but this is what we made today. All right, so this is the goal: Oreo truffles. Okay, so we had a package of Oreos. We put them in the food processor, and we blended them dry. It just took about 30 seconds, and this is the crumble that you get. Put that in the mixer, or you could do this by hand, with a block of cream cheese that's already softened. Mix it, maybe like another 30 seconds to a minute. Scoop them out. We use a little melon scooper, or you could use a spoon. Roll them into your hand so that they are uniform little balls. Put them on a sheet with parchment paper, and then I put them in the freezer because I'm in the South. I'm in Atlanta. We just want them to be not hard to handle. Melt your white chocolate. So we had some white chocolate chips that we melted. You could do the microwave or the stovetop. Drop your little Oreo balls in there. Coat them. The first batch looks out really clean. Let the excess drip, scrape to the side. I didn't do that. And then put them on another tray. There you go. Beautiful. Don't they look perfect? Wait till you see my jungle balls. All right. And then you top them with some extra Oreos and we're done. All right. So let me see how she presents hers. I think she just had a little white bowl. Yep. So let me get a little bowl and see if we can stack some of these up and we will be done. And of course, I will taste it for you all. That looks good. I hope so. But in all seriousness, the chocolate on the outside, that straight melted chocolate, let me clean my hands. It's really rich. So a little goes a long way. Thank you, Fran, for the badges. Violet looks good. Okay. All righty. So let me see what I can get as far as a nice little white bowl to put these in. Do I have a small one so it looks more than it does? All right. Oh. All right, so I'm gonna get the first batch that I put in the fridge. Probably should have put them in the freezer, but let's see if the chocolate has set enough for me to handle them. And then we'll take some pictures. Ooh! Okay. All right, don't mess up. Don't mess up. All right, so this is what they look like. Something tells me I'm gonna take a picture just like this first, just in case when I go to handle them, they fall apart. But they're actually feeling pretty good. But the longer you keep them in the fridge, the better they'll be. Now we need to put these in a bowl, but I'll still do a little flash. And let me do a video. All right, so these are the 3 ingredient Oreo truffles. We have Oreos, cream cheese, and white chocolate topped with crushed Oreos. Enjoy. All right, so let's see if I can handle them gently. Will they come up off the paper? Okay, don't touch them too long, Maggie. Y'all hear that? Did y'all hear the little plunk? It's the little things. Oh my gosh. Y'all, it's working. It's working. It's working. We did it. Okay, let me take a picture. Y'all, don't they look adorable? I'm so happy. Okay, I thought they would still be like melty, but okay. So, I'm so excited. And I'm taking these to mom and dad. I'm going over there afterwards tonight. I got to give them away. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. I think I have a problem for real. But y'all keep coming back, so you know what it is. We go together now. Woo! Oh yeah, these will be up on Food Talk TV. Okay, let me do the video again because now we have a perfect presentation. All right. All right, so today we made the 3 ingredient Oreo truffles. These are crushed Oreos with cream cheese, and then they are wrapped into little balls and covered with melted white chocolate topped with Oreos. Oh my God. One is enough. I haven't had a towel in a while. Oh God. Y'all, the candy coated shell gives you like a little crackle. Gives you like a little hard shell crackle. And then the Oreo inside and the cream cheese, I am telling you, y'all would eat this. It's like fudgy on the inside, cakey. Oh my gosh. Y'all, one is enough. I'm about to run around this house. It is so sweet, and I was worried, but that little layer of chocolate, honestly, it's all that you need. 10 out of 10. No substitutes today. Oh my gosh. I almost can't finish it, y'all. It is that rich. Almost. All right, everybody. I'm done. We made our Oreo truffles. You all are gonna love these. This was the goal. Oh, this was the goal. And this is what we made. And I think we did it good. You know what I'm gonna do just for extra? Remember, we had a few Oreos left. Little presentation. Looks good? Y'all, this is excellent. Honestly, you could make this. This is so much fun. Really, really sweet. Give these in the gift bags for the party as the kids are going home. Let their parents deal with the after effects of this. It is a lot. All right. Thank you all so much. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. So yes, let me just see what it would look like on a little skewer. So Aaron Laura said those cake pops y'all are buying at the Starbucks, you could get like a little popsicle thing now that we took our picture. In all honesty, you could cut this and you have your cake pop. Y'all could sell these on the roadside. $5 at Starbucks, $2 at Maggie Bucks. You'll eat that. Absolutely. All right, so I will be back with you all next week. Make sure you are tuned in. This recipe, this 3-ingredient recipe, and all of my recipes are at foodtalktv.com. There's live cooking content every day of the week and on your Amazon device. I'll be back next week. What are we making? I don't know, and neither do you, but it should be fun. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you all next week. Bye. All right, everybody. Leave the parents with the fallout. Absolutely. All right, let me see what y'all are saying in the comments. Oh, this is good. I need to go right now. I need to get the other ones out of the freezer. Let me see if I have a container, because this cannot stay here. Nope. You gotta go. You have got to go. This has got to go. I'll figure out which lid matches. All right, everybody. Yeah, see you tomorrow. For those of you ladies in the finishing school, Erin Laura's laughing. Oh, you liked it? Thank you all so much. Yeah, they are super rich. Really good, but one is enough, y'all. I'm serious. It's an Oreo cookie and cream cheese. It's a lot. Yeah, the sticks would help with the dipping. Absolutely. All right, everybody. Yeah, this was super easy, super fun. I just needed something to do to get rid of these Oreos. All right, everybody. All right, let me go see Nana and Papa and take them these snacks. And I will see you all next week and see the finishing school tomorrow. All right, everybody. Bye.